It's summer and Tacoma is preparing for the heat.
A new city TV program with the mayor and city manager is on the air.
And Tacoma's police chief reaches out to the community with some shop talk at a local barbershop.
All that and more on this edition of Tacoma Report. Hi, and welcome to this edition of Tacoma Report. I'm Laura Proctor.
And I'm Angie Foster. Tacoma Mayor Victoria Woodards and City Manager Elizabeth Pauley now serve as co-hosts of a newly reimagined Inside Tacoma, which began airing on June 22nd. Each month, through informal conversations with elected officials, community leaders, and key city staff, Inside Tacoma will highlight the nexus between policy and administration. Inside Tacoma can be viewed on TV Tacoma or tvtacoma.com, as well as the City of Tacoma's official YouTube and Facebook platforms. Have thoughts on what you'd like to see discussed on the show? Go to cityoftacoma.org/InsideTacoma to submit them.
Recently, the city held a Vision Zero open house. Participants were able to provide feedback on the draft Vision Zero action plan and learn more about the Safe Systems approach to traffic safety. Staff also shared about the proposed first phase of the speed limit reduction plan, 20 is Plenty, in residential neighborhoods. Vision Zero is a global initiative to eliminate traffic fatalities and severe injuries while increasing safe, healthy, and equitable mobility for all. There is more to come on this plan in the coming months. To find out more, visit the Vision Zero webpage.
The Tacoma Police Department recently held an event in the Hilltop neighborhood to give residents an opportunity to speak directly with the Chief of Police. The event, called Shop Talk, was centered around using a barbershop as a way for the chief to keep his ear to the ground on how the community feels. The department's leadership team donated the money to make the event happen, which took place at Goodfellas Barbershop and included a barbecue lunch and free haircuts for kids. Many people came out to enjoy the day, including Tacoma Mayor Victoria Woodards.
To see this community, the Hilltop community, come out and meet the new chief, and to be able to see our chief interacting with young people, making sure they get their haircuts, talking to both the senior members of our community and the youngest members of our community. I am overjoyed.
It makes me feel wonderful that I can hold an event like this, especially with, the mayor coming through, a lot of the city council members in attendance. I feel grateful to be able to collaborate with the chief and, bring good to the community.
So it's a good way for us to show that we work together and that we trust each other and that we respect each other. And that sounds exactly like the definition of procedural justice.
The Department Shop Talk series is just one of many events the police department holds with community to provide an opportunity for residents to speak their mind and to get to know officers on a personal level. To learn more about the Tacoma Police Department, visit tacomapolice.org.
As the country continues to transition to stable, steady growth for families and small businesses, the SBA remains committed to increasing capital for small businesses, including those in underserved communities. Small business owners still seeking assistance can participate in a number of programs or connect with their local SBA field office. They will get help with an SBA lender that can best meet their capital needs, or a community navigator to access additional small business resources. For more information on SBA funding opportunities, visit sba.gov/funding-programs. The City of Tacoma and its outreach teams work together to clean up an encampment located on the tide flats along Milwaukee Avenue. This action was taken due to health and safety concerns for those living there, as well as environmental impacts the encampment was creating. City staff worked with the Homeless Engagement and Alternatives Liaison Team, as well as the Tacoma Police Department. This area has had an increasing number of emergency service calls. Officials believe there were close to 20 people living in the encampment. Another cleanup for an encampment currently underneath the 11th Street Bridge is scheduled for July 12th. When we come back, we'll bring you some summer tips on fire prevention.
I'll be talking with Tacoma Deputy Fire Marshal Vern Porter on fire safety issues. We'll be right back. With the hot summer now upon us, we thought this would be a perfect time to get some information on fire safety. With us today is the Tacoma Deputy Fire Marshal, Vern Porter. Vern, thank you for coming today.
Hi, my pleasure.
We appreciate it. So with the weather heating up outside, should the Tacoma area be concerned with brush fires? And if so, what can we do to help prevent those?
Yeah, so brush fires are always a concern, especially this time of the year when it's hot and humid out there. The best way that you could do to protect yourself to make sure you don't have brush fires is if you're going to use a barbecue, don't use it up against your building, don't use it near a building. Make sure you police the area around it. You don't want dry grass or brush underneath or around your barbecue because the heat from that can ignite that. Also, you just want to make sure that in your area, a lot of homes have alleys here, so you also want to police the alleys. Clean up the garbage, the waste basket, cut the long grass, dead plants, any dead vegetation around your home. You kind of want to clean that up, cut it back, keep it away from your buildings and other areas because when those can be ignited very easily, even from a cigarette butt, you got to be a little bit cautious when you're smoking because if you dispose of a cigarette butt in the wrong place and it's dry grass, that can ignite. And once we do have some pretty good winds in this area, so once a small brush fire gets going, it does expand pretty rapidly in dry, grassy areas, especially with the wind that we have. And if you're in hilly areas also, so it'll expand faster going uphill. So the biggest thing is keep your grass cut, keep it trimmed down. The city of Tacoma has a 311 place on the website where you can make a citizen basically it's almost like a complaint, but if you have areas around you that have tall grass, long grass, you use a 311 system to report that so that the city can try to take some action to try to keep those areas cut back also. So.
Yes, and just being aware of your surroundings.
Yes,
I mean, really.
Yeah, keep your garbage cleaned up. You don't want to leave wood and stuff like that piled around. You know, and unfortunately right now we do have a high number of arson fires. We do have a lot of transient activity in the city that could be causing some issues with that. If you can, put motion sensor lights on your house, stuff like that, so that the lights will come on when people are walking up. That'll tend to keep people away from your homes and away from areas like that to protect your homes from the fires and stuff like that. But the biggest thing is police your areas, keep the garbage cleaned up, the weeds cut back, and all the dead vegetation removed from your house and your garages.
And protecting your home.
Yep.
So, great. So the city of Tacoma has a fireworks ban. Is that just for the 4th of July?
Nope. So the fireworks are illegal in the city of Tacoma year-round. Any type of firework, you're not allowed to use any type of a firework. We do permit certain events like Friday night Cheney Stadium baseball games. They do, but those are licensed pyrotechnics. Yes. Technicians. The barge that they'll be using on July 4th down by Point Ruston, that's a licensed pyrotechnician. Those are all inspected by the fire marshal's office prior to being used to make sure that they're safe, everything's been done correctly and professionally. So other than that, fireworks are illegal.
Since there's a ban, what does that mean for neighbors and friends that are coming to visit?
Yep, so unfortunately, you let them know prior to, don't bring fireworks, we're not allowed to shoot them off. If you are aware that people are shooting off your fireworks, they are asking you not to call 911 unless there's actually a fire or somebody's injured. The 911 system's used for emergencies. If you do want to report that somebody's illegally setting off fireworks, because they are illegally being shot off if they're in the city limits, they have a phone number, 253-287-4455. And then there's a website that www.fireworks.report.com. You want to make sure you do it either online. If you know in advance that people have done it, they're going to do it, you can do it, because then the Tacoma Police Department will patrol the areas and they can potentially institute fines to people that are shooting off fireworks that are that are being done illegally.
So even in advance, if you have knowledge.
If you know that your neighbors have done it every year and they're going to continue to do it, my advice would be to use the website to report the area, the location, so that possibly patrol officers can have advance warning and maybe drive through that area prior to the fireworks being shot off.
And can, if there is reporting, can it be anonymous reporting?
I believe so. I believe you can call the phone number up and you can anonymously do it. You don't need to give any of your information. Okay. You just want to say that in the past we've had fireworks shot off in our neighborhood every year, and if you can swing by prior to them doing it this year, then that would be great.
All right. Well, Vern, thank you for taking the time
Yep.
out of your busy schedule.
Oh,
I
yep.
know summertime is a very
Yep.
busy time for
It is.
your department. So these fire safety tips are super helpful. So
Yep.
thank you for being here today.
Thank you very much.
When we come back, we'll get some water safety tips on cooling off when temps get toasty. Stay with us.
Welcome back. On June 15th, the city had the inaugural Juneteenth event at Tollefson Plaza. More than 80 people came out to hear from community leaders about commemorating and celebrating the holiday through recognition of the economic and cultural contributions of African Americans in the United States. The city passed an ordinance in 2021 to make Juneteenth an observed holiday.
When temperatures hit 90 and higher this summer, cooling facilities will open throughout the city. These include the Lighthouse Activities Center, operating with the Korean Women's Association, the Brotherhood Rise Center, and all 8 of the Tacoma Public Library branches. Excessive heat can be dangerous to everyone, with greater risk to older adults, people with health concerns, and children. Know the signs of heat stroke. If a person has these symptoms, they should stop what they're doing, move to a cooler location, and seek medical attention. Checking on elderly neighbors and keeping kids out of the sun is equally important. For more information on staying cool, check out Tacoma's inclement weather webpage at cityoftacoma.org/inclement resources.
As weather heats up, you might find yourself visiting one of Washington State lakes, rivers, or reservoirs. Even though the water may look inviting, it may be dangerously cold, so don't dive in. That's because many of the lakes and reservoirs are fed by melting glacial ice, making the water much colder than you expect on a hot summer day. So, what should you do? Start shallow and start slow. Water in shallow areas will warm faster than deep sections, giving you a chance to gauge temp and safety. Make sure you're dressed for the water temperature, not just the air temperature. And always wear a life jacket if you're on a boat or other watercraft. Make sure it fits properly and is snugly fastened. For more information on water safety, visit mytpu.org/parks.
Tacoma First 311 Customer Support Center major upgrades are now complete and online. 311 is a system customers and community members can use to report non-emergency issues to the City of Tacoma from computers or mobile devices. Powered by C-Click Fix, this upgrade includes improvements accessing the system from a computer or mobile device. The new mobile app is available for download on the Apple and Android app stores. If you are an Android user, you will need to manually remove the old Tacoma First 311 mobile app and install the new one. However, this does not apply to Apple users.
And finally, now's the time of year to dig and excavate on your property. But if that's on your list, you're reminded to call 811 before you dig. Protect yourself and your wallet. The law requires you to call 811 before you do any digging or excavating at your home or business. A representative will come to your location equipped for safety, maintain a safe social distance, and mark their underground lines with paint for free. So avoid costly repairs from cutting into and damaging utility lines. Dial 811 or call 1-800-424-5555 to schedule an appointment a minimum of 2 days in advance. That's all the time we have on this edition of Tacoma Report.
A great way to find out about the services the City of Tacoma has to offer is by going to cityoftacoma.org. I'm Angie Foster.
And I'm Laura Proctor. Thanks for watching. We'd like to take this time to congratulate our friend and producer, Lane Fickey, on his retirement. We're gonna miss you.
He's worked so hard for the show, and we'd like to say goodbye to him in our closing credits.